The Brahma Vidya is the mind of the innermost. The mind of the innermost becomes the fruit or extract of all the experiences acquired with the mental body. The mind as a mind is one thing, and the mind as an instrument is another. The great cosmic illuminations are the outcome of the momentous unions of Brahma Vidya with the mental body. Thus, the soul, united with its innermost, is submerged within the great soul of the world, within Emerson's supersoul, and perceives all of the macrocosmic marvels. Yet, in order to achieve these marvels, the opening of the eye of Dhamma is necessary. This eye is intuition. The one who is already intuitive is so because he has a special constructed mental body. The nucleus from such a mind is a circle of resplendent violet color. Within the book Azug, the mind which is thus organized is called Dhamyorfla. A Dhamyorfla person does not bend himself before the potencies of evil. Neither is he a slave of Maya, a slave of illusion. Whosoever wants to study the book of Oriental wisdom entitled Azug has first of all to submit himself to great and terrible initiatic ordeals. I received this book from the hands of the authentic master of wisdom, Kotumi, K.H. So, the system of selecting sensations and piercing the mind with controls and more mind controls every day only achieves to enslave the disciple to his animal mind and to his no less fatalistic intellect. All of this is nothing but black magic. The only thing which is achieved with these tenebrous teachings is the total separation of the monad and the personality. Hence, the person ends up despising his monad and rendering cult to his guardian of the threshold, his internal beast. Reasoning is one thing, and intuition is another. Reasoning only nourishes itself with external sensorial perceptions. By means of the senses, it perceives or receives impressions and then produces sensations. Thus, reasoning ends up being negative and limited. The reasoning person believes that he can attain the truth through the struggle of antithesis, but this struggle only divides the mind and incapacitates its ability to comprehend the truth. The intuitive person knows how to listen only to the voice of the silence. Thus, within his serene mind, the eternal truths of life are reflected with splendid beauty. The reasoning person converts his mind into a battlefield with prejudices, fears, anxieties, fanaticism, and theories, and his conclusions are always favorable to him. Yet, such a turbulent lake can never reflect the sun of truth. The mind of the intuitive one serenely and silently flows very far away from the black struggle of antithesis and from the storm of exclusivity. The mind of the reasoner is like a ship that only knows how to change harbours. From these harbours, which are called schools, theories, religions, political parties, etc., he acts and reacts with already established precepts. A mind like this is a slave of the stagnant energies of life. Therefore, it ends up with complications and pain. The children of intuition, as rebellious, high-flying eagles, soar towards the sun of the great ineffable truths, free from fear, free from the longing of accumulation, free from sects, religions, schools, social prejudices, fanaticism of flags, anxieties, theories, intellectualism, hatred, selfishness, etc. The mind of the intuitive one serenely and silently flows as a delectable, crystalline fountain of resplendent beauty within the august thunder of thought. The mental body of the intuitive one is a marvelous vehicle of the innermost. The mind of such an intuitive one only acts under the direction of the innermost. Hence, from this action emerges right exertion, right thinking, and right feeling. The human being who only moves himself under the direction of his innermost in the world is a happy human being, because he is far away from many types of complications and conflicts. In order to reach the ineffable summits of intuition, there is the necessity of integrally living in accordance with the wise teachings brought unto the earth by the divine Rabbi of Galilee. Therefore, the teachings of Christ are the teachings which lead us towards the ineffable summits of intuition. What is interesting is to exactly move ourselves in this physical world in accordance with the wise teachings of the Master. What is important is to make the teachings of Christ become flesh and blood within ourselves. Christ did not come in order to found religions. Christ came so that we can unite ourselves with the innermost, our eternal Father. The entire teaching of Christ has the great musical rhythm from the plane of the waves of life, which is the Buddhic or intuitive world. The mantra Om Masi Padme Hum develops intuition when it is daily vocalized for 10 minutes. This mantra is vocalized as follows: Om Masi Padme Hum. This is the mantra of intuition. The practices of the teaching of Christ awaken the chakra of the heart within us and put into activity the Buddhic or intuitive body, which leads us towards wisdom and eternal happiness. Sexual magic forms part of the teachings which Christ taught to his 70 disciples in secrecy. While we practice the Christic teachings, the ethereal vital body becomes totally reorganized, and its two superior ethers are increased in volume. Then, a certain center which is formed within the head descends into the heart and organizes a center for intuition. A protector net is formed around the ethereal body when we do not waste our Christic force. This is how this body remains protected from the exterior currents. The physical body becomes more fine and also more strong, and even the face is transformed and gains beauty. The teachings of the Solar Logos operate upon all of our internal bodies, thus converting them into fine instruments of the innermost. What is important is to live these teachings in our practical life. Sadly, many people confuse the cosmic mind with the cosmic consciousness. The waves of the mind are one thing, and the waves of consciousness are another. The mind is nourished by the consciousness. The cosmic consciousness reunites the affine waves of the mind. The trident symbolizes the triple set of forces of the transformation atoms of the mind. The mental body is not the I. The mental body is only an instrument of the I. Thus, to pretend to be enslaved by this material instrument is the breaking point of stubbornness. The mind of the intuitive one is an ineffable chalice filled with beauty. The mind of the intuitive one is the chalice of the Holy Grail, saturated with the blood of the martyr of Golgotha. The mind of the intuitive one is the sacred cup of pleroma, the sacred cup of samadhi, the liquor of the gods. It is the soma, drunk by the lords of the mind. It is the liquor of love, the Buddhic liquor, which is the wine of light, already transmuted within the igneous vessel of the beautiful Helen. It is the cup of the immortal gods.